Hello and welcome to another video. So this one I want to make quick. This is a topic that I have been asked about quite a few times, and therefore I thought it would be worth making a video. So anyone that is subscribed or just see this happen, maybe get an answer for a question that comes up rather often. So there are 31 general undead forest and legion heroes, and of course there's the tier list which show you what units are great, what units are bad, and generally who's in between. So one thing that comes up really often is what is food, right? Because if you're going to progress through the game, there's chances are that you're going to run out of food, and you may have 8 copies of a unit that you generally don't want to build, or maybe they're not good, and therefore I want to let you know my opinions. And again, these are my opinions. If you love a unit, keep them, right? If you're someone who's paying for things, getting seeds, getting a lot of food, buying everything you can food related, you are probably not the one to talk to about this. However, if you're somebody who is, interested in what is, potentially food, what can help you get through the early game and maybe get you the 11 stars that you need, I thought what I'll do is I'll share my opinions on this. And do I eat legendaries for food? And yes, I do. So as you can see here, for Undead I have 3 copies of 11 stars and one I'm building next, as well as just random sort of 4 stars. Same for Legion, I have 3 11s, one 10-star, which will be the next sort of focus as you see here, and then Milton, which I'm going to do after. Waga I just kept because fuck it, I had enough food at the time. And I have 11 stars here in Forest, as well as obviously I'm getting some food, and I don't know who I'm building next, but I'll figure it out as I go, because chances are I'm going to take more time getting the food than I will getting the copies, especially if I go ahead and get, the seeds or wish list or whatever, right? And for Light and Shadow, I don't get rid of any legendaries. I will say that before I get into the actual list. I just keep any here, I don't get many, so I had 2 Olivia's, 1 Felix, and here I had the Yules I got from the event and 1 Yasuko. So I don't get rid of any LS units because there's not many out there, and fuck it. Unless you have 59 for some reason of Celia, then you can maybe get. I will still suggest making 3, right? That's the point. Like, don't get rid of Light or Shadow units. None of them are bad. So I will now get into the list. Again, these are my opinions. If you don't believe that you should be getting rid of legendaries, that's fine. That's your thing, right? And you can tell that to people. I just thought I'll share mine. So here's my list, and you may, to be fair, dislike it. You may not like it. You may feel like someone is great, and I'll explain why I believe this, right? So, as I said, usually you get a lot more copies of units, especially when wishlist unlocks, and if you start focusing on one single sort of type of unit, you'll realize that you're struggling for the rest, and it does take time, and things are in waves, and sometimes you get to needing to fight 2 teams, and now you need 2 sets of 11 stars, or a couple 10s here and there, and a couple 9s to get through things. You may need to rush through, or you may be getting agitated being stuck on a stage for a long time, and you have 10 primos and you don't know what to do with them, because that technically is enough for a 12-star, but what is sort of the best here? So I'll say this is my list for food and not food, and I'll briefly go through it and explain things. So there's no LS heroes here, so Light and Shadow. However, here as you can see, not food, I have Terrence, Milton, Flora, Rennie, Arches, Barley, Eric, Telware, Margaret, Cardalin, Sota, Lionel, Diana, Liv, and Osh. I think those units are great, and you shouldn't get rid of them if you get extra copies. Do save them, because generally you will need them. If you maybe don't like them the most, but you still want to have enough copies, you know what? Save 4 copies and get rid of anything extra, because that means that the next time wishlist comes around, then maybe you get 1 copy from something else, you have enough, right? Or save 7, because wishlist will typically be 3 by the time you're getting to the units that you don't like, so you can guarantee you have enough copies by the end of the month. Units to maybe food, these are units that I think generally, if you have no other options, do build these. These are great units. However, initially in the game, in the early stages, these are not bad options to food, because there are better units out there. So Isla, there's better tanks than her. Waga and Grigor are support priests. You usually would maybe want more of a healer. And Frode, Renaud, Gisela, and Darby, they're not bad units to build later, for sure. But generally there's better units out there, so I wouldn't hesitate to get rid of these, and I have got rid of these as you saw my list of units. I don't typically like them. I have enough tanks in Cardinal, Eric, and Lionel, and they cover all 3 of the factions for the tower. Renault is just a secondary option. So these are the maybe foods. These are things that I may think about, and I have gotten rid of all of these. I will say, like I have Gisela, I kept some, but I don't think anymore. But I ate her recently because I wanted to get my Osh finished. But these are units that you can keep, and these are not bad units. So if you're someone who's going on the side of caution, I will say keep any of the maybe foods. So any of the maybe foods, keep them. If you're thinking you're not too sure how to approach this and you want to know 100% what is food rather than going on technicalities of where you are in the game, how you're generally doing, yeah. But for food, I will say I just get rid of every single one in the food tier. Bella is one of the worst assassins. She's okay, has some CC, but generally she just can't do much. Beelzebub's not great in my opinion. Brooke, Patras, Edward for sure, Norton, Primo 100% is fucking garbage, and Ragnar and Seth. Seth is bad as well. These are units that I do 100% of the time food, right? So I will say, keep that in mind. Those are the units for you to sort of focus on, and yeah, thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.